Good afternoon. This is the Duke of Fremont Street in Las Vegas, Nevada. Today is Wednesday, October 13th, 2021. It's a beautiful day here in my beloved Las Vegas, and we're finally getting rid of some of that oppressive summer heat. I would like to take this opportunity to thank you for stopping by. Salute. Magnificent. In today's short video, I'd like to discuss the benefits of acquiring silver and the many forms in which you can make those acquisitions. Silver, as you know, is a great form of wealth preservation, and it's a great hedge against inflation. I believe that it will be your castle builder in this new dark ages era that we may be entering. We live in a society that is somewhat of a disposable society. People eat fast food, paper plates, plastic utensils, styrofoam cups. I'm not fond of any of that. I personally prefer bone china, sterling silver, and crystal. That's just my personal taste. I believe it's in many ways more elegant, more stylish, and more permanent. If you happen to agree with me, I strongly recommend that you start acquiring silver in any form. Let me go over some of the historic ways people can acquire silver. As you're well aware, you can use the sovereign nation silver, like the American Eagles, very popular. American Eagles are a wonderful way to acquire silver, made by the U.S. Mint, just like any of the other sovereign nations. The downside, they do have a high premium. However, when you do dispose of them, if that time comes, you'll probably receive a higher premium for those Eagles. Another way of acquiring the silver would be your generic silver. In this case, the 1 ounce silver bars. Very patriotic with the American flag. 1 ounce silver bars or 10 ounce silver bars to me are the same value. If I buy them, I'll pay the same amount. If I sell them, I'll sell them for the same amount per troy ounce. Incidentally, all precious metals are measured in troy ounce. When you get on your bathroom scale, that's one form of measurement or weight, but that's not troy. Troy is a horse of a different color. A troy pound contains 12 troy ounces, which contain 31.1 grams per troy ounce. So all metals will be measured in troy across the board, across the planet. Speaking of troy ounces, we had a pretty good move today with silver. We went up a little over 50 cents an ounce, which people are thinking 50 cents, big deal. That is a big deal. If you have a lot of silver, if you have a lot of troy ounces, that's 50 cents per troy ounce. So say you had 10,000 ounces, you had a very good day today. Another way of that I personally enjoy acquiring silver is through my own coinage. I call them ducats, the Duke's coin. This is, for example, a 10th troy ounce, 0.999 silver Duke ducat. There's one of my favorite forms of silver. The one it's small, it's very marketable. It's very, you can use it with barter, you can use it for commerce, and in many cases you can use them without making change. To step up the plate, I also have my 1 ounce ducats, which are also one of my personal favorites. The downside to them, obviously, they do carry a higher premium, just like, say, the Eagles or the Maples or the Chinese Pandas. Because when I designed them, they had to be fabricated and minted and so forth. A very inexpensive way to get involved with acquiring silver is your old constitutional money, your 90% silver, like in this case, the Mercury dimes. Great for trade and barter and for wealth preservation. When I was a young man, my parents would send me to the market to acquire a loaf of bread or a dozen eggs or a gallon of milk. And they would send me there with, say, 1 dime. And I would return later that day with the loaf of bread, the dozen eggs, or a gallon of milk and change for that dime. Fast forward to 2021, you can do the same thing. That silver dime will still purchase those items, and you'll still receive change. The point I'm trying to make is silver, whether it's up or down or lackluster or sideways, has never ever lost its purchasing power. And I believe purchasing power is one of the main things you should be looking at in any form of acquisition and wealth preservation. When you get into your fiat money, as you're well aware with our inflation today, your purchasing power, the power of your paper dollar, is going down, down, down. Whereas the power of your silver coinage, our constitutional money, will maintain itself. It will maintain its value, and it will not be devalued and degraded like our paper money is being degraded today. Well, in addition to the items that I just mentioned, silver can be acquired in many, many forms and in many, many different ways. I'm a treasure hunter. I've been passionate about silver and gold for over 50 years. And it's amazing how you'll find it and where you'll find it. I believe that if you think outside the box, you'll be surprised at how you can acquire it, and in some cases, acquire it without spending an arm and a leg. A perfect example of what I'm talking about is this, for example, this beautiful, beautiful flatware set. Isn't this gorgeous? This is a sterling silver, which is 0.925 purity. Isn't that nice? Flatware set. This is what silver should look like. See how it's nice and shiny? It looks like a mirror. This particular set has a 24 karat plate on the stems. But a set like this will not only retain its value. This is something you can use on a day-to-day basis, and it's something that you can enjoy your entire life. And when the time comes, if money is needed, you can always liquidate it, or you can pass it down to your loved ones, and they will certainly appreciate it. To go along with your sterling flatware set, it would be nice to get a nice tea and coffee service. Isn't this nice? Isn't that beautiful? The workmanship and the artistic look of this, and the feel of this, and the history and the culture and the heritage, it can't be replicated by the plastic and the Tupperware and that sort of thing. This is the real vintage silver of the golden era, and I highly recommend acquiring it. And while you're at it, I recommend using it. You know, why lock it away in a safe or a vault and never ever see it again? You might as well, you've got it, you might as well enjoy it. The worst case scenario, say for example with this crystal champagne glass. Isn't that a beautiful sound? The worst thing you could do is break it. I personally would just as soon break it while using it as to never taking it out of the china cabinet. It's designed to be made and used, and that's what I recommend that you do. Other forms of silver would be like, obviously, your jewelry. And here's a nice silver bracelet, for example, a brand name. I won't mention the name, but it's a very desirable type of item. Here's a nice, once you have a few years on you, you might take medications. Here's a little medicine container that you carry in your pocket. The neat thing about these sterling silver medicine containers, they have a 24 karat gold lining, so it doesn't affect all the different medications. The boxes and jewelry that you might acquire will always be nice items of interest and items that you might really enjoy having around the house. This particular box was given to me years ago, and I like it because as a Mississippi riverboat gambler and a poker player for decades and decades, I relate to the cover artwork, which is all poker cards. They happen to all be deuces, which is, there's no shame in that. One of the best hands I ever had in my life was quad deuces. So it doesn't necessarily mean you're gonna have a loser. Oh, incidentally, this is a nice little item in sterling silver. This is my business card holder, which is nice to hold your cards to hand out to people. How do you like my business card? Isn't that nice? Gives you a nice, warm, fuzzy feeling. A couple of my most precious items that I own right now are items that were given to me as gifts. For example, this ring was given to me by my oldest son, the silver ring on my ring finger. And it says the Duke. It was handmade from a sterling silver knife or fork. And he gave that to me years ago as a gift, and I treasure it. My oldest son, Christian. My younger son, Adam, he knew that I enjoyed my expeditions in Africa. And he gave me one of the first Krugerrands in silver that were minted a few years back. So to me, these are priceless items that I have no desire of ever liquidating. Another practical function for me is like the money clips. You take something like sterling. I keep my fiat money wrapped in sterling, and I don't have any problem holding those and collecting them and acquiring them, and have no reason to get rid of them. The beautiful thing about it is, though, if the time comes when you have to dispose of this, you have the underlying intrinsic value of the silver, and that you can turn into fiat money, or you can barter it away with anything. Anyway, so it's not a bad thing to have at your disposal. I believe that when we talk about these beautiful, beautiful items, there's precious little left of that. As I said earlier, we live in a disposable society, and a lot of these beautiful, beautiful works of art have been destroyed and melted. And it's been my mission to preserve what I can of these items before they're lost to future generations. So I hope you will join me in that quest, and I think that you will enjoy the search for these items. You never know where they might turn up. You could be at a resale shop. You could be at a yard sale. You could be at an auction, and find these hidden gems and treasures that when you least expect it. So I hope that this small video has been of some interest and perhaps some information for you about your acquisition of silver. It doesn't always have to be the coins. It doesn't always have to be the bullion bars. You can collect and acquire a silver in any form, and definitely you'll be on the right side of the bet. If you do happen to come across silver and you wish to use it and maintain it, you'll have use it as the functional piece that it is, whether it's a coffee pot, whether it's the flatware set. I think this will bring you joy that you're unexpected joy that you will really enjoy. Once again, this is the Duke of Fremont Street. I appreciate you taking the time to stop by. I would like you to subscribe to my channel, and please ask your friends to support my channel and share my videos with them. And I am always welcome you to give me your ideas, your thoughts, your questions, and your criticisms. And I will try to use some of your suggestions in my future videos. In the meantime, please stay healthy. Please stay wealthy. Salute. This is the Duke of Fremont Street in Las Vegas, Nevada. I hope to see you in my beloved Vegas someday. So long.